Hello, YouTube. I wanted to watch the most gangster beverage company on all of Earth, Arizona tea. I love Arizona tea. My favorite is the watermelon flavor, personally, but this is from the Fat Files, I'm pretty sure. First time ever watching it was recommended to me. I really hope that this is amazing. I'm sure it is. But I'm really happy to be here. So hello and thank you for 18K. I'm not quite sure what to do for 20 or 25K. So if you have a suggestion, go ahead and leave it. I thought about maybe getting a cake or maybe some art that I can share with you guys. And if you want this cursor, you can get it for free on my Discord. Thank you so much. I feel like I'm doing an promotion. But let's just start watching, yeah? Yeah.
Alright, this is easily the most requested business for me to look into. Today we're talking about Arizona tea, and I think the reason so many people have requested this is fairly obvious. Clearly Arizona is up to something, selling these...
It's my favorite flavor! Immediately showing off my favorite one! Please tell me you can see that if I move over. You can! Yippee! My favorite of all time. If I could have these every day for my life, I would.
Giant cans of tea for 99 cents, which right out of the gate feels weird, but then it gets even weirder when you realize that they've been selling that same can of tea for the same exact price since 1992. Okay, inflation has gone up 124% since then, meaning that if they just wanted to maintain everything, that can of tea should cost at least $2.24. Okay, bear in mind.
Oh, wow. My local, grocery stores keep it at 99 cents, but if I get it from a gas station, it's usually like $1.27. I don't know if it's from me using delivery apps, though, because, I don't really go outside often. Not my prerogative. I tend to get sick. It's not easy for me to move around. Easier to stay home and get things delivered, but I'm pretty sure I saw I'm not sure if it was on Twitter or somewhere else, the Arizona TCO saying that if you see anywhere selling it for more than 99 cents to email him and you'll get it taken care of or something. I could be entirely wrong. I could have dreamt it. But honestly, if it's true, oh my goodness. It reminds me of the Costco thing of what was it? If you if you increase the price of the hot dog, I'll kill you. Or something like that.
We live in a world where, as of 2021, the Dollar Tree is now the $1.25 tree, okay? The only other product that
My
is
heart
sacred
broke when
is the
that happened.
Costco $1.50 hot dog. And to make
Yeah!
it even kind of feasible, Costco had to go out and buy 2 hot dog making factories, and they still lose money on it, okay? The only reason Costco's staying in business is because they make so much money on all the other things they sell, they can just afford to take a loss on the hot dog, which makes the Arizona tea can absolutely insane because it's the equivalent of Costco only selling hot dogs. They have to be losing money. It doesn't even seem feasible. They're clearly up to something, and we're going to get into it right after a word from our sponsor. This video is brought to you by Rocket Money, your all-in-one finance app that's going to help you cancel subscriptions,
I've actually
lower
thought
your
about
monthly
getting
bills, and
Rocket
overall
Money,
manage your money
actually.
better. Rocket Money covers pretty much everything. They will let you monitor your credit score. They help you manage your budget by letting you see all of your expenses in one easy location. And then if you want them to, they can actually go in and help negotiate a lower price on some of your bills, like your cell phone, for example. And they don't just save you money by negotiating down some of your bills. They also help you identify and cancel a bunch of subscriptions that you probably didn't even know that you had. And this is my favorite.
I feel like I'm just going along with the sponsor, but genuinely, I've actually thought about using Rocket Money. Now, I'm not sure if it's actually good or not, but if any of you have experience, go ahead and let me know. Please and thank you. And also, the part about Costco, I'm I have a Costco membership. My whole family has a Costco membership. It's generally the best for us. We just have a bigger family. We all eat the same foods usually. So it's better to just buy it in bulk and have it last 2 weeks to a month and then go back and buy more. I'm pretty sure that's where they make all their money. Could be somewhere else, could even be something in real estate. I know that some restaurant companies go ahead and own the real estate that it's sitting on. I know of 2 local McDonald's of mine actually sit on their own owned real estate. And I wonder if that's actually the same with a lot of supermarkets. Haven't really looked into it, but I think it'd be fun too.
Favorite part, because me and my wife,
I mean,
mostly my wife,
yapping.
has a horrible habit of signing
You have a
up for
wife?
free trials on
Let's
apps and then
go.
forgetting to cancel them. But luckily, Rocket Money's here to
I'm
let you know
happy
that I've
for
been
you,
spending
but I'm
$7.99 a month
jealous.
every month for the past 3 years on some photo editing app that my wife used one time for an Instagram post. Yeah, babe, what's up?
How many guns did you buy this year?
No comment. Wait, what? How do you even know I'm talking about you right now? Did you bug my office?
A,
Yeah.
don't worry about it. B, keep my name out of your mouth.
All right. I gotta finish the ad. I gotta go. Love you.
If you're, I'm sorry, I really love it when partners joke around like that, because in my mind, all I think of is, oh, they know how to have fun, and it makes me really happy to just be silly and have fun with the people I know and love. So, happy for you, jealous, but happy for you.
That could have went better. Anyways, if you want to take control of your finances today, go check out Rocket Money. I will have a link in the description down below. Let's get back to the video. There's a baby monitor in my office. All right, our story begins with the owner of Arizona Tea, John Voltaggio. In the 1970s, he was a
Wait. There's a baby monitor in our office. Twist it. It means she views you as her baby in a loving way? Question mark? Maybe? I don't know.
All right, our story begins with the owner of Arizona Tea, John Voltaggio. In the
John
1970s, he was a truck driver for an
I can't
alcohol
pronounce
distribution
it.
service. Essentially, he was driving a truck around the city and he would deliver all the alcohol to convenience stores and gas stations, and he did that for years. After
It's
doing
an
this for
important
years, him and his
job.
co-worker John Farolito decided they're going to start their own distribution service. However, as I'm sure you can imagine, that's a very tough business to get into, and initially the only clients that they could get were all the convenience stores and gas stations on the sketchy part of town that nobody else wanted to deliver to, but they did it anyways. Then, after they had a
Gotta
fairly
start
successful
somewhere,
distribution
right?
service, they figured, hey, we're already carrying all these different types of beverages to deliver them to all the convenience stores, and we have those relationships. What if we started our own brewery and started making our own alcoholic beverage, and then we could just have one more product to be able to offer all these clients? So they did, and that was fairly successful also. So now that they have their own alcohol, they have to figure out how to market it, and this is where John Voltaggio really figures out how to market a product, and he looks around at all the other successful products in the alcohol market in the 1980s. And let's just call a spade here. The 1980s is the pinnacle of the sleazy advertisement era, okay? I mean, we've got Camels trying to
100%.
sell children-flavored cigarettes,
Yeah.
and we've got every alcohol company on the planet desperately trying to convince you that if you drink fucking Bud Light or Coors Light or whatever, a supermodel is going to be attracted to you and your beer gut. So John Voltaggio learned
If I drink enough beers, I'll have supermodels with
Coors
me.
Light or whatever, a supermodel is going
I
to be
can
attracted to
imagine
you and
them
your beer
with my
gut. So John
brain.
Voltaggio, learning how to market a product, he's like,
Just
okay,
get
step
so
one,
the
make it
women
cool.
into
Step
your
two,
life.
have a supermodel with huge cans, promote it. Easy. They then proceed to
Sex sells. It really does sell. No matter what, if you have somebody that's considered attractive for the time, it's gonna get more eyes on it. That's just how the world works.
cool. Step two, have
Also, I really love the hair around this
a
era.
supermodel with huge cans, promote it.
I really
Easy.
love the
They
flowy
then proceed to name their
hairstyle.
beer Midnight Dragon, which is the coolest fucking name for a beer I've ever heard, and this is in
Midnight
2024.
Dragon?
If you adjust for inflation, it had to have been way cooler back in the 1980s. I mean, even today, that's a brilliant name. Imagine going over to your buddy's house, he opens up the fridge. Oh, what did you want to drink? We've got Miller Lite and Midnight Dragon. Dragon! I mean, at that point, you could literally be a Miller Lite guy, and you're still gonna try at least one Midnight Dragon. You have to. So, step
Is it bad my thought was Miller Lite or Midnight Dragon? And my first thought was, is Midnight Dragon lean? That was my first thought. Because that sounds like it would be a word for that, no? That'd be the coolest word for lean. Midnight Dragon? That'd be amazing. That just, no. I might get sued. Please don't sue me.
one, make it cool. Check. Step two,
It is
make
cool.
it sexy, right? Sex sells. I present to you
Yeah.
their first ever advertisement, a beer poster of a model in red lingerie holding a 40 of Midnight Dragon with a straw with the caption, I could suck on this all night.
Damn!
The fact that it's a 40 is just completely
That's
outrageous. Like,
amazing.
the notion that anyone in the history of mankind has ever been drinking a 40 while simultaneously also concerned about smearing their lipstick is just completely unhinged. Like, I need a
I
part
love
2
it,
of this beer
though.
advertisement. I know that straw doesn't reach the bottom of that 40. What happens when the straw doesn't reach anymore? Do you just throw it away and get another 40? Or are you going to be so drunk off the first
Hear
20
me out.
ounces you're not going to care about your lipstick anymore?
Hear me out, hear me out, hear me out. Extendable straw. I'm pretty sure it's probably already made somewhere. Somebody's probably done it. Extendable straw to put in wine bottles. If they haven't, send me money in an envelope because I know one of you is gonna do it.
I'm sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. Anyway, so this goes on until like 1990, and John Voltaggio, while he's delivering beer one day, there's another distributor there, and he's actually dropping off a bunch of Snapple. And John Voltaggio is just like captivated by it because it's the middle of winter. Why on earth would anybody be drinking iced tea in the middle of winter? It doesn't make any sense to him, but apparently a bunch of people enjoy it, so he's like, that's it. I'm going to start selling tea. So the first thing Don has to figure out is the proposition, right? Why would anybody drink his tea over Snapple? Snapple's already an established brand. So he starts to thinking on how he's going to set himself different, how he's going to set himself apart, how he's going to be better. Now, I'm just guessing, but I'm assuming at this point he refers back to all of his experience, all of his knowledge, all of the lessons that he's learned from marketing and distributing beer over the past decade. And when you distill all that knowledge down, he knows that you have to make it cool and you have to make it sexy, right? Because sex sells. The problem is iced tea isn't exactly an adult beverage.
Oh. I mean, I feel like around that time, there probably wasn't a lot of beverages that weren't alcohol, maybe? I could be wrong. Or like a soda. So I think that having a different tea as a competitor would probably be the play. And I mean, I guess it was the play because Arizona's so big now, right? Oh my goodness, I just realized how crazy I look when I do this face. Hello. I'm sorry.
There
We're
might be a lot of
goofy
kids
here.
drinking this beverage too, and having some
Yeah.
model with huge cans marketing it might be a little aggressive for something that children might be drinking, and then it hits
I
them.
mean,
Huge cans. We'll get rid of the model.
Teenagers will also like that. Now, I'm not
aggressive
speaking for
something that children
everybody,
might
but
be
I'm
drinking,
just
and then it
saying.
hits them. Huge cans. We'll get rid of the model and just keep the giant cans. Okay, now like the textbook business term for this strategy is called a value proposition. Basically, he's decided that Snapple is 16 ounces and it costs like, I don't know, $1.29, whatever it costs. He's coming in and he's like, cool, I'm gonna sell more. I'm gonna sell 23-ounce cans and I'm gonna sell it for less. I'm gonna sell it for 99 cents. That's the value proposition.
That's fair.
You're gonna get more for less. Okay, that's what a textbook's gonna tell you, but I'm dubbing this the big can strategy, right? Because we've seen this time and time again, okay? Think about Monster Energy. Monster Energy was not the first energy drink to ever hit the market. That was Red Bull. Monster Energy just came along and was like, oh hey, Red Bull's only selling these little 8-ounce cans of energy drinks. What if I doubled the size and sold 16-ounce cans and gave it an even cooler logo? Boom, multi-billion-dollar business right out of the gate. And you know the kicker with that, one of the top executives that helped initially launch Monster and market it was a top-level executive at Arizona previously, so he knew exactly what he was doing with the big can strategy.
Can I go ahead and tell you guys a quick story revolving around Monster? I know it's about Arizona tea, but I'm going to tell a quick story. So, essentially, when I was still in high school, there was this whole book we had to read for like a huge test. There was going to be like you had to do this huge questionnaire. It was the final, essentially, huge questionnaire, separate essay. You had a whole like semester to read it. I did not read it until the last night. And I figured, well, if I'm gonna fail this, I'm failing the class probably. It's probably a big part of my grade. I didn't really care. I skipped a lot. I was gone from school a lot. Whatever. So I got a Monster Energy drink, took out the book, found an audiobook of it, played the audiobook while reading the book, did that twice, went in the next day, did best. I had the top scores that anyone had in that class. Just from random, pure determination. And then I went home and I slept for 16 hours. So thank you, Monster. Monster, you saved my grades. If you want to sponsor me, hit me up, man. But it just goes to show that a lot of the things with the school system is just about remembering, not about actually retaining information, huh? That's probably a different conversation, though. But it helped me pass, so...
Don Voltaggio's own words, his marketing strategy is, and I quote, "Put tea in a big can and paint it pretty." Okay, if you learn nothing else from this video, just remember, people like big cans.
Yeah, they do.
Did you say my name?
Oh!
No, why?
You said big cans.
Yeah?
Well, that was my nickname in high school.
What?
Yeah, I didn't tell you that story?
No.
Yeah, so it all happened back in 2009. I was a freshman,
my
and
God.
so all these boys were just like all like in my face.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Like,
Sorry, what?
are you paying attention?
Yeah. No, I heard all of it.
Okay.
Sorry, anyways, we've got
You're a
the business
lucky
model. Classic
man.
value proposition, give more for less. Super simple, easy to market, great tried and true business strategy. Next thing, what are we going to name the company? So Don's thinking on it. He goes back home to his wife and he's looking at his house and he lives in this like Spanish colonial or sometimes referred to as Santa Fe style home. And he's like, cool, I'm just going to call it Santa Fe tea. When you think of tea, you think of hot, the desert. Santa Fe is perfect. We're going to slap Santa Fe on the can. He does
Fair
a couple
enough.
of designs. The word Santa Fe just, it doesn't look right. It doesn't fit. So he's like, fuck it. I'm just going to say Arizona tea. Don's never even set foot in Arizona, but he's like, it's fine. We're just going to call it Arizona tea. It'll be good.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, next thing. Got to make the cans cool. Don's wife volunteers. She's going to design all the cans. Perfect. We got everything
That's
we
so
need. So now Don and
sweet.
John Farolito are going to go to the bank, get a loan, and start their tea company. The bank hates it. They think
I'm not sure if he's gonna elaborate further, but are the designs for the cans still the wife's designs? Because that's so sweet if it actually is. That'd make me so much happier to know.
it's a horrible, stupid idea, but they reluctantly
It's a
end up
great
giving a loan
idea.
anyways for a couple of reasons. One, they're already successful businessmen. They already have a ton of money in collateral. And B, sometimes you just got to bet on the player and not the game. So the bank,
Yeah.
while they were wrong, they ended up making the right decision and loaned them the money to get started. So 1992, Arizona tea hits the shelves for the first time and pretty much is immediately outrageously successful. And from here, it's pretty much 3 decades of Don
Good for
Voltaggio
them.
being a fucking gangster about absolutely everything. Don wakes up one morning, decides he wants to start selling giant 1-gallon jugs of tea. He starts making the tea, takes it to the distributor. The distributor's like, hey, this is never gonna sell. At which point Don is like, cool, you're never right about anything. Go ahead and put it on the shelf anyways. We'll see what happens.
And it's
now it's
sold.
in like every grocery store in America.
Yeah.
He decides he wants to come out with a new flavor of tea, honey and ginseng green tea.
Can I be honest? Those big cans, big little jugs of tea got me through so much when it came to moving. I moved around a lot. We traveled a lot when I was younger. And, when you'd be moving boxes all day, we'd go get, like, the bag of ice from, like, a grocery store, or, like, our McDonald's at the time, local one, sold just bags of ice. So we'd grab it, grab one of the iced tea little containers, and just chill out, have iced tea. It was great! It was nice. It's a core memory for me. It's very sweet. It reminds me of, I was about to say simpler times. It reminds me of chaotic times.
Like every grocery store in America. He decides he wants to come out with a new flavor of tea, honey and ginseng green tea, and then he has his wife design this beautiful can.
It
At
is her
which point
design!
he takes a bunch of criticism like, hey, men are never gonna drink that tea because it's a girly colored can. At which point he's like, fine, I'll just sell it to women then. Fast forward a decade later, it's their best-selling flavor and probably one of the most iconic product designs of all time, and it's all because he had his wife's back like a complete badass. He would also get a bunch of shit because he wasn't doing any marketing. Like, he had no marketing department whatsoever, to the
Well,
point
you
that
don't
whenever
really need
companies or
marketing when you're
interviewers or
good.
news sources would ask, hey, how big is your marketing department? He would reply, pretty big. About 6'8", in fact, referring to himself because he was the only guy that did any marketing. Which honestly
Fair
wasn't
enough.
much. They weren't worried about product placements and being a Super Bowl commercial and all this other dumb shit that all the other brands do, because Don knew that he had the value proposition on his side. He knew that he was selling more tea for less, and he was putting it inside of a cool can, and the product would sell itself, and he was absolutely right. Okay, fast forward to 2008,
Absolutely.
Arizona Tea is huge. They have their own factory, everything's paid off, they're making a ton of money, they're the #1 ready-to-drink tea brand in the country. At this point, the company is worth over $1 billion, and John Farolito, who over the past decade has become more and more of a quiet partner as Don just kind of took everything over, and John just got to, reap the rewards, he comes out and he's like, hey, we could literally sell this company and make billions of dollars and just be retired billionaires that wake up and do whatever the fuck we want all day,
Nah.
every day. We should sell the company. To which Don was like, no, absolutely not. I'm not selling this company because if I sell this company, what are my sons going to do? Both his sons
Fair
were his
enough.
top-level executives with him. Literally his right and left hand.
He's even sitting like a gangster. Look at that. Also, hello. That's a model stance if I've ever seen one. I feel like I'd see this little stance for like selling jeans, maybe, if it was a full picture. It'd be a good jeans ad.
Man, and he knew that if he sold out, he wasn't going to get to hang out with his sons because every single day, Don Voltaggio has a 2-hour family-style lunch with both of his sons and his wife inside of his
Aw.
big-ass office in his factory.
That's
Okay, just so
sweet.
we're all on the same page, Don Voltaggio could have cashed out and been a billionaire with a fucking B and said, nah, I'd rather hang out with my kids. Go fuck yourself. That is the most gangster thing I think I've ever heard in my entire life. Like, imagine how his sons feel about him after that. You know what I mean? Like, imagine going to work with your brother and your dad all day, every day, knowing that the only reason that you're there right now was because your dad got offered to be a billionaire. Like, basically a king or an emperor of capitalism in America, essentially. Like, your dad could have just been like the guy doing whatever he wanted for the rest of his life. But no, he decided he was going to have your back instead, and now you get this awesome job
They just all sit like they know what they're doing.
with your family. Like, it's dad
It's
goals to a
nice.
degree that I didn't
Yeah.
even know existed. So this obviously leads to a little bit of a falling out between Don and John. John obviously wants to sell. He wants to take his money and run, which kind of understandable. So he's like, you know what? Fine. Don, you keep your half of the company. I'm going to take my half and I'm going to go sell it to some investment firm or something and I'm going to get my money and I'm going to retire. To which John Voltaggio is like, no, you're not. Absolutely not. You are not about to sell half
No.
of my company to some investment firm that's going to want to take it public and then an army of MBAs is going to march in here and try to tell me how to run my business that I built from the ground up when none of them have accomplished anything at all. Okay, I'm worried about taking care of my employees and my family and putting a lot of tea in pretty cans, and these MBAs are going to march in here and they're going to be worried about one thing, and that's getting a return on their investment, which is a fancy way of saying they're trying to make money for doing fucking nothing. So Don and John go to court and battle it
Yeah.
out for the next 8 years. They reach a confidential agreement outside of court. Nobody knows what it was. Nobody knows the terms. Nobody really knows what happened. All we know is that
Probably
John
just
got paid out
buying the
$1 billion,
shares, right?
and now Don Voltaggio owns 100% of Arizona
Yeah.
Tea as of 2015. So clearly, they just paid out $1 billion. It's been 23 years. They have to raise the price of the tea, right? Absolutely not. Don is 100% against it, and he's going to do anything and everything he can to not raise the price of the 99-cent can. What on earth could his reasoning possibly be? You know, I'm just going to let him tell you.
Why not increase the price and therefore increase the profit?
We're successful. We're debt-free. We own everything. Why have people who are having a hard time paying their rent have to pay more for our drink? Maybe it's my little way to give back.
This dude's just a complete
That's
gangster.
just
I don't know what else to tell you.
amazing.
That dude literally has
That is probably the best press that you could say or give anyone. It's like, why would we increase the price when we're already good, we're set, we're safe? Why would we increase the price and make it harder for the working, like people that are struggling with work right now or not able to afford more expensive things struggle? It's really nice. It's just sweet.
Maybe it's my little way to give back.
This dude's just a complete gangster. I don't know what else to tell you. That dude literally has woken up every day for the past 3 decades and just told inflation to go fuck itself. He's literally the
I love
only
it.
multi-billion-dollar CEO that came out and was like, you know what? I'll just make less money. That is completely unprecedented, okay? Like, I love capitalism. I think it is the greatest system that humans have ever come up with. That being said, it's got a ton of shortcomings, and it would be so much better if everybody acted like that. Buh!
Yeah.
This is all a complete lie because last time I saw one at the gas station, it was over $1. Buh! Yeah, that does happen. That's actually the local store that you're at marking the price up higher than MSRP. Arizona Tea still sells their product below $1 and recommends that they sell it for 99 cents. If other companies raise it more than that, Arizona can't really do anything about it. So yeah, if you're not picking up what I'm putting down, I'm trying to tell you that
All
your
right, my
local
bad.
convenience store is scalping tea. the world we live in. So other than Dawn simply
Wow.
being willing to just make less money, buy a smaller yacht, if you will, what else is Arizona Tea doing to cut costs to maintain this price point? Over time,
Buy
they've
a
done quite
smaller
few different things,
yacht.
one of which is they actually changed from selling 23-ounce cans to 22-ounce cans. And the reason they did that wasn't by selling, you know, one less ounce of tea is going to save us all this money. They didn't really give a shit about the tea itself. What they did was they went to the can manufacturer and said, hey, we want you to make our cans thinner and use 40% less aluminum so that we save a bunch of money on the raw material end. So they actually ended up making the can a tiny bit smaller and then making it significantly thinner all the way around and having a different top so that they could save a bunch of money on the can itself. In addition to that, they also figured they could save a bunch of money on fuel by not delivering their tea during the day to all the different stores. All their trucks run exclusively at night. Okay, just so we're all on the
I
same
mean,
page.
that's a
Just
good idea
so
too.
we're all hearing what I'm saying. In order for Arizona Tea to maintain their cheap price point for the rest of us, they're also going to make us suffer by reducing the amount of traffic. This might be my favorite company on the planet. They need to add that to the marketing, honestly. Big cans, pretty, there's less fucking traffic, okay? It's a trifecta. Okay, do you understand
That
how
is
crazy
honestly-
that is? Like, before,
yeah.
they were just saving you money. But now, in order to keep saving you money, they're also being forced to save you time, okay? It violates the laws of physics somehow. It has to.
Damn, Neil deGrasse Tyson, how are you doing that?
It's physics, Terry. It's physics.
This is my new favorite company. Okay, I don't even drink Arizona Tea. I'm starting today. Okay, that's it. That's all I got. I thought for sure Arizona Tea was going to be up to something like every other company I look into, but no, they're not up to anything nefarious. They're not secretly being funded by the government. It's just Don Voltaggio, the owner, woke
Just
up every
being
day for
amazing.
30 years and
Okay.
decided to be a fucking badass. When they told him his 1-gallon jug of tea idea was dumb and it wasn't going to work, he said,
He
cool,
said,
I'm
"Nope,
going to go ahead and
I'm
sell it
done.
anyways.
Thank
and
you."
it worked. He believed in himself. When his wife designed this awesome can and they said, nobody's going to buy it because it's girly, he said, cool, I'm going to sell it anyways. He believed in his wife and he was a good
amazing.
husband. When it came time to sell out, retire, and be a billionaire, he said, but then I'm not going to get to hang out with my sons. He had his kids back. He was a good dad. And when the time came to raise prices because everybody else was doing it, he said, nah, I don't need to make more money. I'll just make less. He was a good person. And despite all of that, despite the fact that he did everything wrong and he put money last as the business owner.
Is it really wrong? I feel like when people think about like the Costco hot dog and Arizona tea, it's just not really a bad thought that goes through your head. I don't know how to explain it, but I never really have like a bad thought in my head when I think of those two. It's like, oh, they've kept the prices the same. I really appreciate that. Oh my goodness. A lot of the food I buy, either it's increased in price by way too much, or they decided to shrink the size of it and just imagine or just say or not say anything and be like, no, we didn't do anything. It's like, no, I have an old bag of your chips. I see the ounces on it or whatever, and I see the new one. Same price, less product. And it just irks you. It really just irks you. So I feel like keeping everything the same as much as you can is honestly just the best way to go.
The fact that he did everything wrong and he put money last as the business owner and the guy running the show, he still ended up being a billionaire worth over $6 billion. And more importantly, he gets to have lunch with both of his boys every single day, which is something I don't think any other billionaire can say. And in a lot of
It's
ways, that
amazing.
probably makes him the richest man on earth. So in my opinion, that's the key to Arizona Tea's success. Don't chase the money, chase the goal. The money will come after. Even if the goal is something as simple as putting a lot of tea in a big can and making it pretty. Thank you for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch over at thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang, out.
That was honest. Oh my goodness. I was just kind of hooked entirely throughout the entire video. I wish I watched more. Well, I mean, I can. I probably will watch more of this, his content. It looked amazing. And also, if I was the wife and I hear all this criticism that no one's gonna buy this tea flavor because it looks like it's made from woman, and my husband still said, okay, I'm gonna do it anyway, my heart would melt. I'd feel so loved. I don't know. But thank you so much for hanging out. Please always go support the original video. It will be in the description. Please go support them. That is the best thing you could possibly do, and I would appreciate it so, so much. Thank you for being here and hanging out, and have a good night. Goodbye. Goodbye.